Hey, how's everybody going? It's Grim. So today I want to talk about why My Hero Academia sucks and is not my favorite shonen. Now before you guys go down to the comments or dislike or click off the video, let me explain myself. But before I do that, make sure you guys subscribe and click the notification bell so you know right when I upload, because I'm going to be uploading every other day this week, which I'm going to continue to do from now on because I like that upload schedule. Anyways, let's just get right into it. So, first of all, before we get into why My Hero is bad, I want to talk about what makes a good shonen. What I think makes a good shonen is plot development. Think something like Dragon Ball Z, where you have Goku and Vegeta and all the other Z fighters developing alongside each other, and a lot of plot progress happens. And it doesn't even need to be in a short time or a long time, just overall, something happens and it develops. Now, another thing that makes a good shonen is the characters. Now for this, think something like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where you have every character, I would say, is very good, not necessarily enjoyable. Something like the Junkin boy, isn't very enjoyable, but overall he's kind of, he fits into his respected role very well. And all the characters, I would say, in the JoJo fandom, everybody really likes. I'd say, obviously some people dislike, like if you like Josuke, then you won't like Rohan, vice versa. Just because, that kind of happens. Rohan doesn't like Josuke in the anime, stuff like that. But I think that overall, most of the characters are fairly enjoyable for what they're written as. And another thing I think makes a good shonen is emotional moments. You have to have your fair share of some kind of emotion in there, right? Whether it be sad or, anger, something like that. I don't know. Some kind of emotion where you have a lot of things happening, right? Think Attack on Titan, where about every other episode somebody dies. And then I'm not saying everybody should die in My Hero. I'm just saying that a fair share of emotional moments where a lot of stuff just happens. Doesn't even need to be a lot, just a little bit of stuff here and there that happens. Attack on Titan is a really extreme example of it, right? But I think every shonen needs to have its fair share of emotional moments. Now, I want to get into why My Hero sucks. And one of the reasons why My Hero sucks is because every reason I stated above doesn't really happen in My Hero. There's not a lot of plot development for the first thing, right? Deku is kind of the same character from Season 1 to Season 4, and that's around 70 episodes of him just being the same character, which I think is really not good. If you talked to me 3 or 4 years ago when My Hero started, and you told me that it would be 70 episodes and Deku wouldn't develop really at all, I think I would have quit watching My Hero, or maybe even anime as a whole, just right there and then. Because, I was at the start of when I watched anime seriously, and I got into bigger shows, right? And if I heard that, I'd probably just be like, that's just not, I don't know, man. Because a lot of plot development is what makes a good show, right? And I wouldn't say that My Hero is the worst example of this. There's definitely stuff that happened like other animes that are worse, right? But I just don't think that there's a lot of plot development that's serious for it to be one of the big three. And now another thing, again, why My Hero sucks is the characters. Now, I wouldn't say a lot of the characters are very enjoyable. Now, the My Hero fandom, which is another reason I don't like it, may disagree with me when I say that not all the characters are good. Because I think that the only one that they hate is Mineta, right, which is one of the only ones that I like. Because he's written very uniquely, I think. His trope is kind of a new thing, right? He's not kind of like a side, like, oh, it's his side traits. Like, he's really out there. He's a really, big character, I guess I would say. So a lot of the characters in this, right, something like Bakugo and Todoroki, aren't very great characters. And a lot of people will disagree with me when I say that, because Bakugo and Todoroki are very enjoyed by the fandom, right? They're like two of the biggest characters, and a lot of people simp over Todoroki, I know that. But Todoroki is just kind of the silent guy, and right, like he doesn't say much, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's kind of an overused trope now, and it's just kind of reused, and it's old now. It's getting really old how he's just kind of silent. And I know that's not a bad thing, right? Because a lot of silent characters are actually good, but I just don't think the way that Todoroki is written it really works with this character. And now, why I don't like Bakugo, I don't like him because he's kind of just the same reason why I liked Mineta, I guess, is he's just really straightforward. He's really angry all the time. And sometimes doesn't even seem like he's angry because they push it off as a joke all the time. But, when Bakugo gets mad, right, he should just get mad once in a while or something. He gets mad literally every 5 seconds. He would explode the UA building, I would say, because he's just a really angry guy. And I mean, that's not a bad thing either, but I think he needs to have some other personality just besides getting mad all the time. Because a lot of characters, right, have personality besides getting angry, besides getting one emotion, right? This isn't Inside Out, my guy. You're not just angry. And that's kind of what I think of Bakugo as sometimes. And another thing that my hero lacks is emotional moments. Now, there was one in Season 4, but it wasn't anything huge because it was just one death, and honestly, I got more disappointed over the death of the main villain than, anything else. I don't even know if he dies, but, like, the defeat of him. Because I actually enjoyed Overhaul. Now, that's not saying that I really like him as a villain, I'm just saying his character was quite enjoyable. And another thing that, they could probably improve on is the emotional moments. Now, I don't know about anything in the manga past or the animes because I haven't caught up with the manga yet. I'm taking my time with that. And so if there's any spoilers, don't leave them in the comments. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want other people to get spoiled that are anime onlys. And Season 5 is just about to come out. So, I don't know. Maybe something will happen. We don't know. Or, well, the manga readers will, but, we don't. Another reason why I don't like My Hero is because the villains aren't very creative, and I know I just said that I liked Overhaul, right? But he's only the real villain that I really liked. I liked Overhaul, and I kind of like Shigaraki, but he's kind of, an overused villain trope too, Shigaraki is, and a lot of his team is too, right? Toga isn't necessarily overused. She's just more of a yandere, I'd say, because she really likes Deku and stuff, but at the same time, she's still a villain. Now, that's totally different from something like Yuno Gasai from Mirai Nikki, because she is literally the definition of yandere. But, something like Toga is kind of a creative character in that sense, but at the same time, not really, because she's kind of an overused trope, as I was saying before. And now, another villain that I really didn't like was, I believe his name was Gentle Criminal. I don't remember exactly what his name is, but his quirk was pretty much just drinking tea, I'm sure, and making things bendy, right? I'm pretty sure he could, just bend stuff, and then he was just like, oh, well, I'm a connoisseur of tea, right? And that's kind of like the British trope of everybody. But, I didn't really think that was a great character because he's just kind of not creative, right? And his sidekick wasn't too creative either. It felt really lighthearted because of the whole festival thing. But at the same time, the festival wasn't really enjoyable because I didn't really like Eri as a character either, and she was kind of the main focus. So, yeah, that's my take on the villains. Another thing I don't like about My Hero is the openings, and this may be because I've heard them, 100,000 times, but they're just really repetitive, and, none of them are really standing out to me. The only one that's really good is Peace Sign, right? And the rest of them are just kind of all the same opening. I mean, opening 3 is just, it's not a great opening, right? And I think that's a thing that most shonens have, right? I don't think there's a single bad JoJo opening. I think the Dragon Ball openings are pretty good, the Naruto openings are pretty good. Now, that's not saying that all of them are good, there's some Naruto openings that just, they're alright. I don't know, some of the openings in Bleach are really good, but some of them aren't really good either. My Hero is just kind of all, and then you got Peace Sign, right? And the last thing that I really despise about My Hero is the fan base. And I think we all know where I'm going with this, right? I've seen my fair share of Deku X Nomu that I think I could probably unsee. And a lot of things just aren't, really great about the fan base. There's a lot of things that just go around. I think the JoJo fan base is kind of turning into this now because, I don't know if you heard, but, apparently the JoJo fan base is taking over, or the My Hero fan base is taking over the JoJo fan base, But, I just really don't think that the My Hero fan base is really a great place, honestly. And a lot of animes do have a great fan base, but JoJo has that whole thing where it's is a JoJo reference, which I can admit that is true. A lot of people do that. But the trope with the My Hero fan base, the assumption, right, is just you ship everybody with anything, and that is true because I have seen literally everybody be shipped with everybody. If there's a ship that you want to see, somebody's made art or something of it, man. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, anyways, I just think that's why I don't really like My Hero. And that's not to say it's not a good anime, right? It's pretty good. It's solid. I'd say overall it's probably a 6 or a 5 out of 10. So yeah, it definitely needs some work, and it's pretty, it's pretty solid. I think the manga's a lot better because the manga does a lot of the stuff better. It does a lot of things that I remember from the anime does it a lot better. And so, honestly, if you guys like My Hero, I would just check out the manga at this point, because the manga is way better than the anime, in my opinion. So overall, My Hero is alright, but I just don't like it right now. The anime is kind of annoying, and the dub is annoying, so yeah, but if you guys like it, you're entitled to your own opinion, and so I won't judge you off that. Just don't be posting that Airy X Nomu, that'd be kind of weird. So yeah, anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, make sure you click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know right when I upload, and I will see you in the next one.